Is happiness the ultimate goal, or should we seek something deeper? In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with messages about chasing happiness. But have you ever noticed how so many people who follow these ideas still seem unsatisfied? It raises an important question. Is happiness really the ultimate goal of life? Or is there something deeper, something more meaningful than just being happy? In this video, you will understand whether happiness is the end goal that you should strive for, or if our lives are meant for something more profound, like purpose and meaning. By the end, you'll walk away with a fresh perspective on how to approach life beyond the endless pursuit of happiness. So, when we talk about happiness, we're usually referring to pleasure, satisfaction, and emotional contentment. That feeling that feels good, that makes us relax, that quiets our overthinking minds and makes us feel present and at ease. It's a moment where our minds stop racing, where the burdens of stress seem to melt away. In those moments, you feel energized, motivated, and confident, like everything is aligned. Life feels lighter, and there's an inner peace that makes you think, this is what life is about. But in modern society, happiness has become more than just a state of being. It's become a commodity, a product to be sold and consumed. We see it everywhere, in advertisements, in social media posts, in self-help books. It's something to be pursued relentlessly, measured against others, and even marketed back to us. It's no longer just a feeling, but a goal, a benchmark by which we judge our success in life. If you're not happy, something's wrong with you, or so we're led to believe. People nowadays can't stand the idea of staying home on a weekend without plans, without something exciting on the horizon. They need stimulation, constant activity, the next big thing to chase after. The concept of being content with what they have or finding joy in simple, quiet moments has become almost foreign. Instead, there's an obsession with doing more, with experiencing more, all in the name of happiness. But this creates a cycle of endless striving. Social media has exacerbated this pursuit. Everywhere you look, people are showcasing their happiness, or at least what it looks like from the outside. Smiling faces, vacations, fancy dinners, perfectly curated moments of joy. It's easy to feel like everyone else has figured it out, and you're the only one still searching for that elusive feeling. The more we compare ourselves to others, the more we feel pressured to do something, anything, that might bring us closer to that vision of happiness. The pursuit becomes more frantic, more desperate, and yet the more we chase happiness in this way, the further it seems to slip out of reach. What most people don't realize is that the pursuit of happiness can actually make us less happy. When we turn happiness into a goal to be achieved, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Happiness, by its very nature, is fleeting. It comes and goes, often when we least expect it. The harder we try to grasp it, the more elusive it becomes. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips away. But beyond the fleeting nature of happiness lies an even deeper issue. Happiness, when pursued as an end in itself, often leads to shallowness. We focus on what makes us feel good in the moment, rather than what brings us long-term fulfillment. We prioritize instant gratification, whether it's a quick dopamine hit from scrolling through social media, a night out with friends, or buying the latest gadget, over the deeper, sometimes more challenging work of building a meaningful life. And while these moments of pleasure may bring temporary satisfaction, they don't lead to lasting happiness. So what should we be seeking instead? Is happiness the ultimate goal, or is there something deeper, something more enduring that we should strive for? One answer lies in the concept of eudaimonia, an ancient Greek term often translated as flourishing or living well. Unlike happiness, which is often associated with pleasure and emotional highs, eudaimonia is about living a life of purpose, meaning, and virtue. It's about fulfilling your potential, growing as a person, and contributing to something greater than yourself. Aristotle, one of the greatest philosophers of ancient Greece, believed that eudaimonia was the ultimate goal of human life. For him, happiness was not just about feeling good, but about living in accordance with reason and virtue. This kind of happiness isn't always easy. It requires effort, discipline, and sometimes even sacrifice. But in the long run, it leads to a deeper, more lasting sense of fulfillment than the fleeting pleasures of everyday life. Think about the things in life that bring you a sense of meaning. They might not always make you feel happy in the moment, but they give you a sense of purpose, a reason to get up in the morning. It could be a challenging career that pushes you to grow, a relationship that requires effort but brings deep connection, or a creative project that demands your time and energy but allows you to express your true self. These are the things that lead to eudaimonia, the things that make life truly worth living, even when they don't always make you feel happy. Now, this doesn't mean we should abandon happiness entirely. Pleasure and emotional contentment are important, and they certainly have their place in a well-lived life. But when we make happiness the only goal, we miss out on the richness that life has to offer. We forget that there are other, perhaps more important things to strive for, things like personal growth, connection, contribution, and meaning. But meaning, true meaning, is different. It's something that comes from within. It's not dependent on external circumstances or fleeting emotions. It's rooted in who we are, what we value, and how we choose to live our lives. It's the kind of fulfillment that comes from knowing that we're living in alignment with our deepest values, that we're contributing to something larger than ourselves, that we're growing and evolving as individuals. In fact, many psychologists and philosophers argue that meaning, not happiness, is the key to a fulfilling life. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and renowned psychiatrist, wrote extensively about the importance of finding meaning in life, even in the face of immense suffering. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he argues that happiness is not something we can pursue directly. Rather, it's something that ensues when we live a life of purpose and meaning. When we focus on living in alignment with our values and contributing to something greater than ourselves, happiness often follows as a natural byproduct. This doesn't mean that a meaningful life is always easy or enjoyable. In fact, some of the most meaningful experiences in life are often the most challenging. Think about raising a child, building a business, or working on a creative project. These endeavors are rarely fun in the moment, and they often involve a great deal of effort, frustration, and even pain. But they also bring a deep sense of fulfillment that goes far beyond the temporary pleasures of happiness. So, perhaps the question we should be asking ourselves isn't, how can I be happy? But rather, how can I live a meaningful life? When we shift our focus from the pursuit of happiness to the pursuit of meaning, we open ourselves up to a deeper, more fulfilling way of living. In the end, happiness and meaning are not mutually exclusive. They can coexist, and in fact, they often reinforce each other. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button so more people can find it. See you in the next video.